Yes, it was there before. Now it's there as well. Yep. Yep. Okay. Got it. Okay. Now, if I go back in the leave stream, now hopefully I'm live. A bunch of people jumped off, but hey, what am I gonna do? Thanks. All right. Bye bye. Thank you. What a shit show. Okay, so the other live should be off now, guys. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I apologize. Just make sure that other live is off. And I should be all right. Good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Carmen San Diego. All right. We're back. We're back. We're good. We're good. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to this stupid software. I like it, but it does get confusing when you have 3 different programs open at the same time. You starts to get a little overwhelming. But I got audio. We got video. All right. Good. No, Al didn't kidnap me. No. All right. Let's yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw earlier, but I did put up something for Tony. I just wanted to say, and especially since you just helped me get live back with you guys again. But yeah, congratulations to Tony for getting 10K subs. Tony is, like I said, one of my confidants, and I'm really happy that his channel is doing so well. So congrats, Tony, and I know you're excited about your new chair. I can't wait for that to happen. All right, so let's talk, guys. Let's get into a discussion. I want to talk about this $20 psychological level. How much of a problem is it going to be for us to break this? And you're welcome, Tony. Are you guys nervous? This is going to take a lot longer than we expected. I know that what do we get up to? Almost 1950 today. I think that $20 level, once we break that, possibly, well, I don't want to speculate, but I think that's going to be the next level we got to cross. And I've heard a lot of the theories that transparency this week, and I know Tony mentioned it last night in his video that, and I've been talking about it for a while too, guys. This implementation of this transparency is not going to show immediate benefits. You are not going to see. I've heard that it was supposed to start today or next week, and it seems like a lot of mumbo jumbo to me. 1958 we closed today. Thank you, Lupe. I'm getting fancy with my live streams. I'm trying to put a little content into them, make them a little different than what everyone else is finally doing. Let's see. It's like May 20 hot dog water saying it's like May 2020 all over again, 2021 all over again, right? Yeah. Like we're going to keep driving up towards that $20 and just get rejected and get rejected. And the market did okay today, but that meeting with the Fed on Monday turned out to be a whole lot of nothing, which is nice. Peter C, good evening. Tiny Time said he sent Phil a message. Okay, good. Bill says, not hopeful for this week breaking 20, just getting hammered down, not enough volume. Yep, I would have to agree with that. Should wear a bow tie and a top hat, Matt says. Look like Lincoln. Me and Lincoln do think alike. All right. So yeah, so we're not out of the woods yet with this. I know everyone's saying this play is over, but it's not far from over, but this play is not over. There's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. Now, if we break that 20, like we've said before, that $20 to $40 range, we haven't spent a lot of time there. So could that climb really fast and jump, up $20? Yeah. If we go by history. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. I'm waiting for that break over 20. And if we do, I think I'll be jumping in again, trying to get some. Tony says he remembers playing with Abe as a child. I don't think you're that. I don't think you're that old, T. We are not that far off in age. All right, let's see here. Other people just holding every week regardless. So, Randall, same thing here, but it seems like as more time goes on, the less I can buy. I loaded up heavy in the beginning, and now that money that I'm putting towards AMC has got to come from somewhere. We don't have unlimited liquidity like or capital like the hedge funds do. So it's a struggle to put that in. Did I sell? No, no. Well, I wouldn't be doing a live stream if I sold my AMC. Are you nuts? I wouldn't be coming on here if I sold my AMC. What's the point? No, of course not. Of course not. Let's see here. Chart showed something extremely bullish that nobody is talking about. Closed above the ascending downtrend. It's the first time it's closed above it, Rob says. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think the chart is looking bullish, chat? I've seen a lot of people saying that possibly this is going to be one big bear trap. Ryan says, this is the first time I see criminals do crimes while being investigated, know they're being investigated and won't stop. And that's some gangster shit we got to respect. 100%, Ryan, 100%. Yeah, that is 100% true. And I was talking with someone about this earlier today about the fines and the penalties that historically have gone to these hedge funds for whatever they're doing, whether it's, illegal shorting or hit pieces out in the media to drive down the price of companies. As long as you're going to continue to make more money than you are fined or penalized, the business model so far seems to work. Ken Griffin owns a $30 million copy of the Constitution. You can only afford things like that if you are doing nefarious things and getting away with it. And as long as the SEC is not going to punish, if they can fearlessly come out and do this kind of stuff with no reprisal, I don't see why they would stop. I really don't. Okay, got a lot of bullish here. A lot of people think this is bullish. Hot Dog Water says bear trap. All right, so there's a mixed opinion about this. There is a mixed opinion. Let's see here. Riptide Redemption says the chart, no, not bullish, and there might be some more downside, but the shorts don't need to buy back in. And I'm waiting for that boost when they do, and we hold out. Yeah, guys, really, until we hit that $70 mark that we hit in pre-market on the 2nd or the 3rd, at that point, we can start talking about either it's over or Moass, but we're only at $20 right now. So to say this is over, we need to at least hit a new all-time high after we clear this $20 to $40 hurdle. Then we have a $40 to $60 hurdle, or that could land right in the middle at 50. That could be a new psychological level, $50 even. And then we have to eclipse 70. So this play is far from over. Smith says we have seen so many bear traps. Yes, Smith, that's true. Tony says, most importantly, AMC moving up in a descending uncertain market bodes well. So the market did okay today. I think that, as I said in last night's video, that this pullback, I gotta comment on this, guys, real quick before. Has anyone seen the interview between Ned Price from the State Department and Matt Lee, a reporter, I believe, at the Post? Did anybody happen to catch that interaction between the two of them? I believe it was either Monday or Friday of last week. Skid Mark in the South, good evening. Alan, we have a long road. Agreed. And Julie, saying the same thing. Yeah, we got a lot of ground to cover. It took us 6 months from January 20, in early January until June to build up, break all those technical levels, hit all new time highs, and then everyone, of course, knows what happened. Let's see here. Rob is saying the TA is clear. I fully expect to move and close above 21 tomorrow. Okay. I'd love to see that. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Chris says, can't relax. This is far from over. Yeah, trying to relax right now. I mean, I am on the edge of my seat at the end of every day going to check the AMC price at whatever time it is. Lunchtime, when we first, the bell opens. Mike, good evening. Mike says 5 different people will interpret charts based on their personal perspectives: head and shoulders, cup and handle. George W. asked Dave Lahr about using charts 2022. Yeah, Dave's a smart guy, right? He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Yeah, the first interview I ever saw with Dave Lauer and Wes Christian on Super Stonk was one of the best interviews I've ever seen. That was where Wes Christian basically laid out how they have been able to do what they've been doing this whole time. Remember, he's been prosecuting against these hedge funds for almost 20 years now, when Overstock first had its move. Let's see here. Matt says we need to relax. No, Matt, I agree. We do need to. I have a very hard time relaxing with all this money invested. Chad, good evening. How's it going, my friend? We were just talking about the charts and whether or not we are looking for a breakout right now above 20. Smith says, I've been drinking vodka all day. The day, it's Tony's fault. He got you started last night, huh, with that shot video? He got me riled up too. Let's see here. Alan, good evening. Financial treason? Absolutely. It is. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Froggy Styles, what's going on, my friend? Good evening. So, did anybody see this interview? I'm just curious. I know it doesn't have, well, it does have something to do with the market, because as soon as the announcement was made that the troops were pulling back from the Ukrainian border, the market took off. Ardo says, JLF, if we hang with decent prices until the world settles, we will boom soon. Am I implying that a lot of people sold after June? Oh, I think some people got out after June. Don't you think? I would think so. I think as we came down, a lot of people probably cost average, brought their cost average down. But I would think some people still panic. Look, this is the first play for a lot of investors. This is their first time being in the market. This is the first stock they've ever bought. They are relying off of information of other YouTubers. Look, if you were watching clickbait back in November or October or September, and you were seeing a weekly video coming up from all these different creators saying 1100 real price end of the week, Charles Payne says we squeeze to 200. How much confidence would you have in the stock when every bit of information you're taking in is doing the opposite? The market's acting one way and YouTubers are telling you something different, right? And that was one of the main reasons why I started this channel, was because of that. It was driving people mad. Alan says, I don't know anyone that sold in June. No, I don't either, except for Mudrick. Mudrick is the only person I know that basically cleared house in June. Okay. Rob says, I'm not just saying this. I don't know anyone who sold. People are holding. Absolutely. Ray, what's up, my friend? Good evening. Yeah, man. Great to have you on live. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who's in here right now. We have 109 people. Everybody out there, I'm going to just say like a blank thank you to everyone for coming in. I wanted to bring up some topics tonight and see what you guys thought about this price action, this $20. Froggy Style says people are buying a lot more too. Yeah, man. You know, it's just a matter of how much money can you invest and still keep yourself afloat outside of the play. And as long as I can balance those 2 things, I will continue to buy. I just gotta make sure that, I cover my ass on the other side. KL, good evening. How are you? All right, let's see. What do I think is gonna cause the next big run up and not 10 to 15% days, but a big move? I'll tell you what I don't think is gonna cause it, Bill. I don't think that, earnings will cause it. I don't. Maybe possibly so there's a time period that's gonna be coming up between, I think, March 18th. Can somebody tell me what the Matt sold in June, Tony says. Can somebody tell me what the release date is for the new Batman movie? I could probably look it up on my phone, I guess. Is it March or May? No, it's March 4th. Okay. March 4th. So March 4th, and I believe the end of March will be when we get Q4 earnings for AMC. Somebody else check me on that. Tony. Yes, I believe Tony's talking about Matt Kors. I'm pretty sure. Right, Tony? We're talking about Matt Kors, not Matt Donnelly sold in June. I'm assuming. Alan says, "Do you think Ortex will be true with the data when the squeeze happens?" I think they'll get the numbers that are given to them, right? They only can work off the numbers that they can physically, tangibly get their hands on. So, will that number be correct? Good question. Depends how they implement this new transparency, I get. Julie says, "Who follows Matt anymore?" I don't know, Julie. I never followed Coors. I always got a bad feeling from him. I don't know what it is, but he just seemed off to me for some reason. This says, "You don't know that." No, of course I don't know that for sure, but he's he doesn't talk about AMC. He says AMC didn't make him, GME didn't make him. I've heard a lot of people that have emailed me or sent me messages saying that he doesn't want to talk about AMC in his chat anymore. He won't answer super chats about it. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can't say for sure, but somebody with that much hatred towards the stock, how much can you be invested in it? Imagine I came on here every night and started saying, "Oh, AMC didn't make me. I'm self-made." You know, not talking about my position, that I still own it or whatever. I mean, he just has completely dropped his own narrative. Matt's in here. Oh, good evening, Matt. Let's see here. No one else sold. Christine says, "Do the funds need to clear their books by the end of this month? Hence a squeeze." So, is that what it has to be like before? That's a good question. That's a good question. I'd have to look into that because February, March, quarter three. That's a good question. I'd have to look into that, Christine. Tendy time. Have I seen John Wicken sniping? Wicken snipping? Yeah, I have. Yeah, he's come across my queue a couple times. I have. Yeah, I've seen he's gone to a couple places, called a couple places, about about their, uh about their policies and, regarding AMC specifically, I guess, right? Alan says Matt sold out to Rumble. Yeah, so Matt got a contract with Rumble to be one of their exclusive creators for stocks and money. I don't know how much he got, but he is on Rumble. As a matter of fact, a couple months ago, his actual page came up on Tucker's show, like in the corner where they have the like the TV up here, Matt Kors was on the whole screen was just a big picture of Matt Kors on Rumble. Boston Strong, good afternoon. Did Matt and Trey sell us the fake dream? VT says. I don't know. I don't think. Look, I think Matt just rode Trey's coattails all the way to the bank. That's what I think. I've been watching Trey since February like 9th or 10th. I think was the first time I put on a Trey live stream. And at no point did he ever seem not legit in his intentions. But I can't read the man's heart or his head. I don't know for sure. But he was one of the people who influenced me to go and do the due diligence, do the digging, go look into the documents, read Susan's book. Trey is one of the people that hit me off to all those things that I would have never have probably done on my own. And I've just tried to kind of build on that since. John says Trey is the real deal. Yeah, I believe so. I do. I can't read the man's heart, like I said. But I think his intentions were good, at least when we started out. And I have no reason to actually doubt that he's changed because just in the last like 24 hours, he's put up a couple of videos on YouTube about AMC. That interview with Gensler and Clayman I saw, he commented on that. So let's talk AMC instead of other YouTubers. Matt, I just kind of go with the chat. I'm just pulling random, like I'm not reading these before I pull them up. So it's like wherever I pull up, I'm just gonna read it back to you guys. I can't go through and screen everyone's comments. They're so fast. The 400Z, the Matt, the car is growing up in 370 is still better. Mod couple, thank you very much, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Did I hear Trey's live stream today? No, I did not. What happened, Joe? What happened in Trey's live stream? Curious. Thoughts on AMC ending the wake bill? If we don't break 20, I would think that we're gonna come in right under, maybe under 19. I hate doing this because I say no times, no dates, no prices. I should just not say anything. This is interesting. Who's this? Joe. He has messaged AA about another interview. Really? He said that on his live stream today? He's been getting ghosted by Adam Aaron? But he's been talking for the last couple of days, or at least the last 2 weeks, Adam Aaron, about short positions, the short positions on AMC. Why would he be ghosting Trey right now? But that's interesting, though, if that's true. You actually heard that, Joe, in his live stream? Him say that he's been ghosted by AA? It's been a while since he's been on, right? When was the last time that Adam Aaron was on? Was that after Q3 earnings or Q2 of 2021? Chat, when was the last time well, he had 2 interviews, right? One in April and one in June. The day that he released the 20 million shares, he went on. Okay, Joe said he's going to get the marker on his stream. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you find that, I could probably share it on the screen. All right, let's see here. Mass, I caught on Matt Kors when he only would answer comments from super chats. Yeah, I remember those days. I sent him super chats. I remember I sent him super chats, but they were facetious / sarcastic. I was kind of messing with them. I was hoping he was going to read it without reading it first, like kind of what I do here. Okay, so Tiny Time saying after you made a few dollars on Dogecoin, I found Trey and he introduced me to AMC. Yeah, same thing here, Tiny Time. He was the first one that really I resonated with, as far as I just felt some level of comfort with the way he described things, and just his whole demeanor just came across legit to me. So, and I understand that can be faked, right? I mean, I could be faking this right now. But he seemed legit to me. Okay. Alan says, I think AA has been struck by the SC not to say anything about the corruption. They're taking care of it. So that could be true, right? That's a possibility that maybe they try to clam him up ever since. But I mean, he went on with Melissa Lee, right? On CNBC. He went on and did the whole movie, the whole, apes cracking Wall Street thing. So I don't see if they had said that, then he probably wouldn't have gone and done, that big promotional video that they did, right? But isn't Ryan Cohen still under house arrest until sometime in March? That should be ending soon, correct? Either March or May. I can't remember when that is, but it'd be nice to hear from the other CEO of the other big meme stock company. That's another thing I noticed today. I was looking at that Clayman Gensler interview, and they put Palantir up as a meme stock. Thought that was interesting. I don't know. Do you guys think that Palantir is a meme stock? Froggy Styles is feeling froggy. Excellent. Mark says trade talk wouldn't be scripted though as network interview. Yeah, exactly. Right. Right. But I'm sure, Mark, that they got on beforehand. Oh, I know this actually because remember the last interview, a lot of us were pushing for, a recall or a recount on the shares. And Trey knew before he even got to that question. He nipped that in the bud by saying that's impossible. Let's see here. On other YouTubers. Mod Couple, the only reason I think people discuss other YouTubers so much is because, all these different opinions are coming in. So I guess you take all the information, right? And you pick out the best pieces of each and try to make up your mind about how you feel, your conviction. I think it's good from time to time to sample from other creators, to read other comment sections, to get an idea. And this is, what I do to try to bring you guys information and try to get a feel of where the community is at. I think, if if you own AMC, you should be kind of keeping your eye out. And of course, you can stay restricted to just a few different channels, maybe follow just a couple people you trust. But from time to time, just to get an idea of what's going on outside of the small bubble that we're in, because that can become toxic almost, right? If you're just listening to the same people say the same things over and over and over again. Like I remember back in the late fall when a bunch of short sellers of AMC were going on Twitter streams. I went in just to get an idea of what they were saying. I didn't necessarily agree with them, but I wanted to know what was their perspective for shorting AMC. Was it based on fundamentals? Was it based on they don't believe in the Moass? I wanted to know those things. I wanted to know what is bringing people into shorting AMC right now, especially this late in the game. Okay. Alan's saying all the YouTubers' opinions can be gathered and used by to make sense of the market. The best idea is done by us retail. Absolutely, Alan. Joe, let's see. Joe says, I'm just guarantee you, he said he got no response from me. Maybe. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd like to know the answer to that for sure. For sure. I would like to know. Let's see here. Frankie Mohammed is a good YouTuber. Yeah, I've watched some of Frankie's videos. Let's see. No, Palantir is not. Let me get these. I'm trying to get all these comments up, guys. Hang on. Massalorian. Thank you very much, Riptide Redemption. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All the kind words I appreciate. Really, guys, this doesn't work without you guys. There is no Massalorian. There's no YouTube. There's no Moass. There's no Squeeze. There's none of it without you guys. So, and we're all holding for each other. So that's another thing, right? All these people that are supposedly holding for each other, we should be trying to get in at least in the same circle as far as focus, right? Ape Father, you unsubscribed to me. How'd you get back in here? What in Sam's hell? How'd you get in here? I'm just kidding. Richie, how are you tonight? Okay, let me go back to I wanted to see that Palantir comment because I thought that was interesting that they put that up there. Okay, S. Jackson says, no, Palantir is not a meme stock. However, any stock that the media hates and retail is looking at interested in lumped as a meme stock. Therefore, Lucid, Palantir, anything can be wrong. Okay. Agreed. Whoa, chat. Jesus. Hold on. Dennis C says, do I think that Squeeze this year? I hope so. Dennis, I hope so. I don't know if I can do another year of me doing videos trying to incorporate things that are happening on the peripheral of the market. Incorporating that into AMC, as well as looking at the chart, in the beginning of the video, and then saying what the price is and the aftermarket prices. I mean, it's not as easy as it may seem to get up here and just talk about AMC. There is only so much news, so much DD, and we are over a year now into this, 13 months of DD. We've dug up a lot of information. We've dug up a lot of things, and it's time to start making changes. It's time to start making changes. Let's see here. Okay, I'm catching up on the chat, guys. Apologize. VT, is that New York? Angelo? Okay, now I'm at the bottom. Richie, are you still in here? He got so mad at me the other day for commenting on Tenny Time's video. I don't know what was going on with that, but if you guys worked that out, I'm glad. Okay, here we say, what does this say? AMC options, Bill, I have not purchased any AMC options this whole time. As far as I'm concerned, they have way too much control over the stock price on a day-to-day basis. However they're doing it on any particular day, whether it's, using the pools or whatever it happens to be. I don't trust it, and I haven't done it. I would rather buy shares personally. Now, maybe before June, especially when those $40 call options for June 13th were there, or June 18th. I wish I had gotten in then, but ever since then, I think they have absolutely RAPE'd retail investors with options. Hold on, Gil. Do I think there's a string of events, earnings? Oh, yeah. So that's what I forgot. I was getting into that. So that timeline period from the second week in March till the first week in April, with that 010 going into effect. Remember, we were talking about that last year when it was first introduced, and there was all this hype and excitement about NC 2021 0-10. Everyone was going crazy. This is it. This is going to be the catalyst we're looking for. And it wasn't. But so let's just hypothetically, let's put this out there. Let's say that Batman comes out. Now, they're saying everything I've read so far, they are saying this is the best DC Batman movie since possibly the first Christopher Nolan one. I forget which one that was, but it's being raved about. And if that's the case, and let's say that movie does amazing, it's probably not going to do Spider-Man numbers. I don't know what will do that. Maybe Doctor Strange will do that over the summer. I think that movie's going to do extremely well, Doctor Strange. It's basically the biggest MCU movie coming out this week. But yeah, that time period from Batman being released and those numbers we could get, then if earnings come back and we smash expectations, beat revenue, if by some miracle we become profitable, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think we made 2.5 billion in the fourth quarter of last year for AMC, but that time period's going to be it could be very volatile. Could be very volatile. All right, I gotta catch up here. Damn it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Yuckerfurta says, oh, Jesus. I'm telling you, I'm not reading them first. I don't understand why everyone gets so stressed. These hedge funds are super rich. You think they're going to roll over easy? No, right? We said, guys, how many times have we said our opponent is a worthy adversary, right? He's not going to lay down and die. He wants to keep his private jet, his maids, his copy of the Constitution that he just spent $30 million on. Like, are those the actions of a man who seems scared? I would be buying gold with that money, not a piece of parchment from the 1700s. It's a great thing to own. I wish I had one. I wish I had the money to buy one. But I don't know if I can trade that for a sandwich if the market crashes. Okay, let's see here. Alina, I just saw you came in here. What's up, girl? Anything ever come? Oh, so let me tell you guys about the Wednesday meeting. How many people we have in here right now? 162. All right. So let me tell you guys about the Wednesday meeting and tell me if I'm totally off base on this, if this is a big waste of my time or what. So it was last Monday night. I was watching Timcast. Let me close this. Hang on one second, guys. I'm going to close this side of the chat for 1 second. Let me see here. So I was watching Timcast, and this was 10 days ago, 12 days ago. And Tim had this woman on, Lily Tang Williams. So this is episode 459. If you guys want to check it out, it's got almost 500,000 views on it. And she was on his podcast, and they were discussing all the rights that are being taken away from the American people. Now, Lily fled communist China under Mao. She came here about 35 years ago, and she has started a family here. She went to UT in Texas, University of Texas, Austin, and she got her degree. And she just recently moved right close to me, and I happened to catch this live stream on Tim Pool, and she is running for a seat to unseat the person who's currently in the 2nd district here. And she's running basically to fight all of the cancellation that she saw in Mao's China, this cancel war that's going on between mainstream media and independent journalists, especially the attacks Joe Rogan's been getting, and Tim Pool as well, and a lot of other people on YouTube. And she's all for a regulation of Wall Street and the establishment. She is fresh blood, and everyone else right now who is up at Congress, who's been there over, 4, 5, 6 years, is already corrupted by the swamp, right? They're already taking donations from lobbyists. They're getting speaking fees from Citadel or TD or whoever. They're already knee deep in it. But I met with her. I called her the day after Tim Pool's podcast, and I said, I'd like to sit down and talk to you about what you talked about last night, inflation at the SEC. She knew about the GameStop fiasco. I told her she knew about the ape movement, the whole thing. And we had a meeting last Wednesday, and I just said to her, I'm going to go back to my subs, my other fellow retail investors. I'm going to talk to them. And if it seems like that we could get, whether it be legislation to get rid of some of these types of manipulation that the funds are using, whether it's harsher penalties as far as what the hedge funds are doing, and getting away with because the punishment isn't severe enough. Maybe it would be legislation for that. But I basically was saying I would help you as far as, digital media for campaign if she wanted to record something here at the studio, many things, right? I could help her in a lot of ways, with the hope that she would bring some type of legislation um, to the floor of Congress because she hasn't been corrupted yet. And, I met with her for a while. I met her family. We had a really in-depth conversation, and I don't know if this is the wrong path, but I just see myself sitting on my hands right now. And how much can I really do with a microphone and a camera? I can't influence anything in DC or the SEC, and the only way to get this done is to get new blood in there. And we got a big election coming up in just 8 months that possibly the House and Senate will get flipped. So could she start to build an alliance of people? I mean, she has a great story. She fled Mao's China. She doesn't want to see communism, socialism come here like they are in Canada right now. She would be the first Chinese American ever to be a woman in Congress. She's got a lot of things going for her. And, if she would be an ally, then that's one more person that we didn't have yesterday. So, guys, tell me in the chat what you think. Is this a big waste of my time? Because it's going to take a lot of work to get this to help with this campaign. Then we have to actually get her elected. When I say we, I mean the people of the state have to, vote her in. But I would be willing to do that if you guys think this is an avenue we should start to explore. Because I don't see anyone else moving off their ass in Congress right now or DC to do anything. Everyone's asking for more deregulation, not regulation. Okay, so I'm going to try to read. Okay, Jennifer says, do it. Go for it. Yes, these politicians. I know. That's why this, she's running a grassroots campaign. I thought a lot about this before I even decided to meet with her, because I wasn't sure that this was going to be something that would ever work out because I don't trust politicians. I don't have a political party. I've never voted before for any major candidate for president or anything like that. I don't get heavily involved with politics myself. I like talking about them. I like having a discussion about them. I like to hear different people's opinions. But as far as me personally, I've never put any faith in that. But if there's any chance that somebody can get their foot in the door and get something down on the House floor to at least draft a bill, some type of, there is a class war coming. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I feel like we're making a turning point right now in history. And, if we had one ally in Congress, that would be better than none. Because really, who is accessible right now to retail to go fight for us or to do something like that? We don't have anyone. We really don't. Let's see. This isn't capitalism. This is the worst thing. So I was saying last night in my video, guys, this is no longer a constitutional republic. We're getting that stripped away. If Justin Trudeau can take and freeze your bank accounts and your cryptocurrency for peacefully protesting, we are headed down a very dark path. Look at Dr. Shiva running for. Yeah, I've seen him before. Jennifer. I don't know what his stand is on the economy, but really, this is something that governors aren't going to be able to help with. I mean, they could. I know Massachusetts has already talked about banning Robinhood until they get rid of payment for order flow, but they're not going to do that over the threat of one state coming out. It's Congress that can get legislation going. And if a bunch of seats get flipped this year, it's going to take a lot. This is not going to be an easy thing. This is going to take calling different politicians and saying, hey, we need you to sign this bill when it's introduced because we're sick and tired of it, or else we're going to put somebody in that seat that will. It's really the only thing we can threaten with. The only power we exercise right now besides our wallets is our vote. We don't have big rig trucks, right? Dr. Shiva is a cool name. It's very cool. Who is Gary Gensler? Charles. Alan says, we need to start putting names out there to help us with politics on social media. Yeah, I mean, that's something I discussed with her. I mean, she's going to be going around. She was on Tim Pool. She's been on Fox Business a bunch of times, and she's going to be on this circuit talking. So if we can, if I'm able to help her, and she's already looking at this retail thing, and she already wants to do something about it. That was clear from her interview with Tim Pool, and that was clear when I met with her. So if she can be a voice right now, it could go absolutely nowhere. But I'd be willing to give it a shot and do this if we think that there's a possibility that this is better than doing nothing. Let's see here. So no, Bill, she's running in New Hampshire 2nd District. New Hampshire 2nd District. And I know that she ran as a libertarian, I believe, in 2016. And she switched over to the Republican Party this year to run for this seat. And like I said, I don't really care what side of the aisle she falls on. I just want to know, will she help retail? Will she be a voice for retail and possibly be able to get other allies, possibly from the other side of the aisle, who can draft up some type of bill that can help us? Because right now, no one seems to be in a rush to fix anything. Carrie says, Mass is the worst, refuses to allow online gambling. It is the worst. Yep. Yeah. I mean, Carrie, I was just down in Rhode Island at Twin Rivers on Sunday for the game because, you can't sports bet up here. It's a shame. We have a huge casino in Massachusetts, and they don't have a sports bet. You can't bet sports there at the casino. Boston Strong says, I hold for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, a lot of people, I had a conversation earlier with someone today, and they were talking about how after the Moass, they're taking their money out of the market. And that's a shame that retail can't even get a fair shake, so that when we do Moass, we can take some of that money and reinvest it and build on that growth. It's sad that they're going to force out a lot of people from retail because of what they're doing right now. And because no one wants to take responsibility and no one wants to step up and put their foot down. Tendy Time says, yeah, man, that's how I looked at it. It's the only idea I could possibly come up with that wasn't just sitting here on my hands and spitting the news back at you guys. I mean, anybody can do that. Whether they're going to do it truthfully or not, it's a different story. But of course, anybody can do this. I just wanted to try to take the next step. What's the next step to be proactive? And that's legislation. If, like I said, even if it's just on the penalty side of it, even if it's just like, hey, listen, if you do this, your fine has to be 10 times the amount of money that you made from breaking the rule. If you break the regulation, then we have to amplify your punishment. Oh my God, I'm so far behind the chat. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm just going to the next person that was up here. Pantheon, good evening, buddy. Good to see you live. Pantheon, I sent you a message. I don't know if you saw it. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with this stream. Let's see. Joe says, okay, so did someone really not know what Gary Gensler is? I thought that was a joke as far as Dave Portnoy. So Gary Gensler's the head of the SEC. As Joe is saying, he was sworn in April 2021. He's got about 20 years at Goldman Sachs. Go figure. He's an insider. He's establishment. He's all about Wall Street and, you know, Liz Clayman and Charles Gasparino, when they had that interview, Charles Gasparino knows that he's not coming in to save us. That's why he was so confident saying it. Okay. Mass. I need mods. Yeah, I do need to get mods sometime. I didn't think it would be this crazy, honestly. I didn't think a lot of people would show up because of the time and a Tuesday night. DC, what's up, buddy? Better late than never. I was late too, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of being late. I screwed up the whole introduction to this thing. So, and luckily, thank you, people. You guys stuck with me. Thank you so much. All right. So, in case you guys don't know, Pantheon's from Canada, so he's dealing with all the trucker issues out there. Pantheon, I don't know if you're in Ottawa or not. I'm not sure, but the capital is where all that's going on. We are on Wednesday, Mass. Okay. Let's talk about it. Cue the speeders. Good evening, buddy. Where is Pam? Linda, good question. Yeah, I've reached out to Pam before about being on. And Javi. I know Javi left. I saw him in the beginning, but I think he turned out of here. Trudeau turned into a dictator, VT says. Hold on a second, guys. I want you guys to see this. Let me get this up for you. I want you guys to watch this real quick. Okay, let's see if this comes up. Okay. I'm going to play this for you guys real quick. Just let me know if there is audio on this, guys. I want you guys to hear this and tell me what you think.
Example, even with TV watching for any, he was asked which country he most admired and referred to China.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China. Because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say we need to go green as fast as we need to start investing in solar. I mean, there is a flexibility that I know Stephen Harper must dream about of having a dictatorship that he can do everything he wanted. That I find quite interesting.
Trudeau's rivals pounced on that, saying it proves he admires dictatorship.
His answer demonstrates again a long-standing position of our party that he is over his head.
I found it a bit silly for Justin Trudeau to say that what he admired the most was a dictator.
So, did you guys see that? Yeah. What the F did he just say is right. Yep. He wants to, his idea of the model government is China because of how authoritarian they are. This guy said this back in 2014. What's that? 8 years ago. And he's still getting voted in. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, it was echoing? Shit. You know what? Probably because my mic was on. Should I play it one more time? Hold on. Let me.
Of admiration I actually have for China.
He was asked which country he most admired and referred to China.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China. Because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say we need to go green as fast as we need to start investing in solar. I mean, there is a flexibility that I know Stephen Harper must dream about of having a dictatorship that he could do everything he wanted. That I find quite interesting.
Trudeau's rivals pounced on that, saying it proves he...
So, did you guys get that? No, Hoosier proud. Canadians do not have guns. They do not. And I saw that someone was it from Vancouver. Pantheon's in Vancouver. What part of Vancouver, Pantheon? Like Langley area or Burnaby? Let's see, where else do I know? Surrey, Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam. Where are you? Yeah. He's backing. Yeah, can you believe it? Can you believe it? I mean, imagine if someone was saying that and then ran for president of the United States. Yeah, they do not have firearms up there. Okay, Pantheon. So you're right downtown in Vancouver. Okay. Yeah. I spent a lot of time in Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam. Let's see here. I'd like to know what Drew said right before that clip. I think that was a bit of creative editing. They asked him what kind of government he most admires. It was a bunch of women in the room, and he was doing like a meet and greet, I think for a book signing. There's no, there was no deceptive editing there. If you don't believe him, look at what he's doing right now. You think he was joking or he misspoke? I have no idea. With that kind of rhetoric, I have no idea. Even the things he's saying right now, I mean, you know, saying these people are terrorists and all kinds of stuff. I don't know if you guys saw my video last night, but I mean, that bouncy house, I had trouble going to sleep last night. I could not fall asleep. That bouncy house was just in my head. And every time I turned over and, you know, just tried to close my eyes, I just had visions of those kids jumping around. And it brought me back to scary times. He really did say China. I think everybody should move to China that wants a communist socialist government. That's the whole reason why Lily moved here, right? She wanted to get away from that. And that's why she's running for Congress, because her kids are going to be growing up. She doesn't want them growing up. There's a reason why she left Mao's China. She doesn't want to see that here. She escaped there to come here, got her citizenship, and she's running for Congress because she wants to fight for, you know, a free capital market. And that was the biggest thing about her. She said, I might not know everything, but I won't lie to you. And that got me. That was one of the last things we said before we left. Tony says, save the Canadian. Yeah, seriously. It was nightmarish. But the spin that these guys are putting on this in the media, it's unbelievable. I was saying Saturday night, MSNBC had a reporter there, and they were filming the independent journalists who were using their phone to document 24/7 live streams. And the MSNBC correspondent actually got on with the CNN main office, you know, the main feed, and said, these people, these independent journalists are here filming 24/7 live streams and lying to people. Basically saying, don't believe your eyes on what they're showing you 24/7 live streams. Listen to what MSNBC is telling you. Welcome to 1984. The Matrix always upgrades. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, Karina, thank you. So here's Karina. She's saying, I'm Venezuelan. I had to escape communism 20 years ago. Right. Exactly, Karina. Well, I'm glad you're here. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that things aren't working out probably the way that you wish right now, but we're trying to fight this. At least I am. I know a lot of my subs are. At some point, I mean, at what point does he become a dictator? If he can freeze bank accounts, he can actually go after DeFi. Another thing, let me put this up. I pulled this up for you guys earlier. Let's see. So did you guys see that the link for Give, Send, Go, the company that was taking donations for the Canadian truckers, somebody hacked their website and leaked all of the personal info of everyone who donated to the truckers. Basically doxed everyone. So if your company, so let's say you donate to the truckers on Give, Send, Go, somebody hacked their site and released everyone's name and personal information that donated. Now, who would have the power to do that? Who would have the tech savvy to do something like that? But that's what we're dealing with right now. So, Karina, I'm glad you got out of Venezuela. Okay. I'm going to try to catch up here in the chat, guys. Sorry. Hacked and doxed. Yeah, Jennifer. Yep. Hacked and doxed everyone. Could be military, NSA. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking this could be American intelligence that was able to do that, right? Because they're based here out of, I forget where they're out of. I know GoFundMe is out of California. I forget where this group is from. Give, Send, Go. But yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking it's obviously someone who's big in tech, right? Yeah, Karina, I get it. I can only imagine. David says, man, this chat is fast. Yeah, that's another story. Did you guys see that story? So the Steele dossier, which was used for this whole Russiagate thing, Comey used that document knowing it was fake. And then when they started to claim that the Steele dossier was not, that was a conjured up concept, Comey said, we have other ways of corroborating this information. And now it appears that all that information came off of the Clinton servers. That is a crime. You cannot, that's espionage. And guess what? There's a good chance that nothing's going to happen to anybody. I mean, I know the DOJ is investigating it, but the Clinton Foundation, that family, very entrenched. Let's see. So they would believe a criminal over their own people. Yeah, apparently. Yep. Someone said, who's this here? Have I ever watched the Canadian Parliament? Yeah, it is lunacy, right? Everyone's talking at the same time. Same thing in England, right? The parliamentary thing. I mean, imagine if Congress was just like AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene getting up and screaming at each other. That would be wild. Chris says, lock her up. Civil unrest. Well, we all know that Papa Joe is got the most votes ever in American history, election history, the most. CNN, Lupe says, is the Clinton news channel. Yes, it is. Have to use. Okay, let's see here. Current SEC chair Gary Gensler. Is that true? Is that true, Jennifer? Allegedly. Bucks fan says, don't you dare question it. I would never. You know, last night they put my video on limited, like couldn't get any ad revenue from it. And more than likely it was because of that stupid little clip of Biden saying, let's go Brandon in that phone interview. I can't think of any other reason why they would have done that. I barely used anyone else's material. I talked a little bit. I showed that little video from like the kids playing the bouncy house and the seat guys who were cooking for the rest of the truckers. And they demonetized me till today. Jennifer says, look it up. Okay, I'm going to. Let me start. You know what? I'm going to use. Okay, here we go. So Jennifer says, when Hillary Clinton was putting together her 2016 presidential campaign, she brought in Gary Gensler as her CFO, senior reporter, April of 2015. Makes sense. Wow. So see, these people are so corrupt. Like, anyone out there right now thinking that this guy is going to do anything in the next 2 weeks that's going to move this market one way or the other, or solidify my belief that the market's going to be fixed once Gensler puts this transparency thing into effect, is, I think, out of their mind. No crowd could be heard at all. Oh, on the video last night? Interesting. Froggy Styles, what are you saying here? AOC or J-Lo? Apezilla says, GG low-key ape. How many people in the chat think that Gary Gensler is actually right now behind the scenes working to manage the AMC Squeeze and is trying to get everyone on the same page so that the market does not get crushed, retail doesn't make absorbent amounts of money, and also at the same time not letting inflation or the Fed hikes and the Federal Reserve printing of money affect the squeeze? How many people actually believe Gary Gensler is working behind the scenes to manage this event? I'm just curious. Apezilla says he thinks Bucks fan says, hell no, not a chance. Jamie. Like, do I believe that the transparency rule is going to help us at some point? Hopefully. That's only if the hedge funds decide they want to follow that rule, or if the penalty for not is worth the risk. And Tony has my answer. I'll sentiment this with Tony. 0%. 0%. Charles Gasparino was extremely confident when talking to Liz Klayman, saying that the apes think that Gary Gensler is coming in to save them. And Liz Klayman said, no, they don't. They do not think that. They knew that report was going to be bogus. Alina says, GG feeds us crumbs. Yeah, I mean, Liz Klayman, that interview that took place, she could have gone hard on him. She could have said, what the hell was up with that GameStop report? What do you mean there that none of these things are going on? What do you mean the market's working just fine? Ethereum Mass 57 says, I have no faith in the government. I don't tend to either, Ethereum Man 57. No one that's up there right now, at least. I don't. They're all establishment. They have taken this so-called constitutional republic built off of democracy, and they have turned it into an oligarchy. And look no further than what Trudeau is doing right now. And those people, I don't know who they are bending the knee to right now, but you see it with Ukraine, with Biden. It's disturbing. Okay, here. Backyard Boogie says he's probably doing more than nothing. Yeah, I mean, he's making public appearances, right? He's making it look good on TV. If you didn't know any better and you weren't a retail investor, let's say you didn't own any AMC and you just flipped on what's claiming on Fox Business, and you just happen to pick up that interview with Gensler, you would think, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about, and looks like he's trying to fix up the market. But knowing what we know, he's been in that office 10 months now, and not much has changed. Pantheon, getting your comment up. Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland are in the World Economic Forum and tells you all you need to know. With Klaus Schwab, yeah, they're ready for the Great Reset, right? It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. They're out and blatantly talking about it. They're talking about you owning nothing and enjoying it. Abe Zilla says, bro, you just wait and see with GG. Abe Zilla, I hope you're right, man. I hope that he is going to come in and just, you know, nail these guys to a cross. But and it's possible that maybe he's just taking his sweet time. I just don't believe this whole managed event narrative here. You know, how many videos have been made? Life after AMC or life after next week? Guys, hang on 1 second. I just got to open my window because I am getting warm in here with all the lights. Hang on. Man, it's hot. Okay, I'm back. They're not going to get nailed, but they're going to pay. I hope so. I mean, I do want to fix the market, though. Like, it's not just about getting paid right now. Like, obviously it is, right? I didn't invest this money to not make a profit. I got behind this play for multiple reasons, but definitely my mentality has changed over the last year. I've gone from saying I wanted to make a ton of money and start a family and, you know, do a bunch of things to I want to fix the market for the generations coming up behind us, give them ample opportunity to make money in it. I believe that, you know, we need people who are going to draw a line in the sand right now and at least take a stand against what's going on. Brandon says the market is cancer. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have lost faith in the market right now. A lot of people have. And look, I've said it before. I don't believe Gary Gensler could come out in that report and say, oh, the market is a mess. We can't get anything right. The hedge funds are using PFOF, creating synthetics. They are putting all retail's orders to the dark pools. He couldn't come out and say that, right? But he could have sent a message. He could have said, you know what? We're on to what's going on. We're not happy about what happened back in January. Robinhood didn't need to do that. Neither did the rest of the brokers there. They could have gotten liquidity in order to cover all of the shortage. It would have been nice if he at least came out and said, you know, retail's onto something here. We're going to dig deeper. We haven't had enough time to get this report. You know, that's another thing that pisses me off. We got money for crack pipes, but we can't get Gary Gensler a staff that can put a report together in a timely fashion. Let's put some money in the budget for that. How about the SEC needs, instead of having 400 lawyers to defend them, why don't we just get 400 researchers and you know, marshals to put an end to this? We just got to keep making noise on Twitter. It's working so far. Yeah, Dennis, that's what we're doing, right? We're keeping the dialogue open as this thing continues to roll out. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that are putting out material. I'm going to put like Tony and Phil and Tenny Time and all those guys are invested in the stock, and they are keeping this dialogue open. They are trying to help retail. They're trying to help each other stay in this play, keep our conviction strong, and make change and force change. This is the market. You will always have bad actors, says Backyard Boogie. You'll always have people that will manipulate and try to find a loophole. It's just how life is. Absolutely, Backyard Boogie. But this is something more than loopholes. They're going in a wide open garage door. This isn't a loophole that they're sneaking through. The door is wide open. They're driving a Mack truck right through it, and everyone's watching. Mod couple. So they can work 24/7, right? So we can become slave labor. Exactly. Yeah, we're reverting back to something scary. Like, why would you want to give equity with drug using? They want equality in the drug using market. Okay. Do I think anyone will go to jail for this? Boston Strong, as far as with the hedge funds, look, Ken Griffin already purged himself in front of Congress. Right? That's pretty much been proven through the documents that were released in the court case from Florida back at the end of 2021. That it was shown that there was communication going on between Robinhood and Citadel before they did what they did. And Ken Griffin stood up on that platform when he got hauled in before Congress and lied and perjured himself. And since then, he has kicked this can down the road, outbid a cryptocurrency, whatever, group of guys, I don't know what you would call them, cryptocurrency club, and bought a copy of the Constitution for $30 million. He still has most of his property. I don't know where he's jet setting right now, but he perjured himself in front of Congress. Now, you're supposed to get jail time for that. I don't hear anyone talking about that. Kenny will go to prison. Right, exactly, Jamie. Exactly. They want to mess up this generation. They want, and look, that's another thing. So I've discussed a couple times about the fourth turning and how, you know, our generation right now, and I'm gonna put my demographics like 25 or 30 to 50, somewhere in that range. This generation right now, someone described it as the Zennials, so it's X and Millennials. So if you were born between 1977 or 76, or let's say 75, let's give it a nice broad number. Let's say 75 to 85. If you were born that 10-year stretch, they are labeling that as Xennials, so Gen X Millennials. Our generation right now, the generation behind us is too young to do any of this, and the boomers are, you know, trying to work their way into retirement. So right now, the people that are on this planet and ready to start fighting for change have to come from that demographic, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but in my opinion. Susan, good night. We're holding for you too. Thanks for stopping in, Susan. Appreciate you. Jennifer says yes, the fourth turning. So Jennifer, I'm working on a video diary. Basically, I'm gonna do a video series on the fourth turning, talking about all the different generations, where they fit in the scheme of things, and why does this pattern keep repeating itself as you look back through American history and really world history. You can pretty much line it up. And I know you can find a pattern in anything, but Strauss and what's his name there? I forget the other guy who wrote the book, but they were onto something. They talked about everything that's going on right now well before this started happening. Bill says, born in 69 here, Gen X. Yes, me too. Me too. Brandon says, they don't care if we exit the market. Really? You guys think that? You think they don't That you really don't think that they're going to be upset with all this money coming out of the market? I think so. I think it might have effect on them. I would just like to know that, some of the tech and growth stocks that I bought last year that are based off fundamentals, which was not the same thing that I did when I bought AMC, right? I based AMC on the recovery play and a squeeze play. I wish I could have confidence that those stocks are going to trade on fundamentals. They'll trade on earnings. They'll trade on revenue. They'll trade on the things that we should be trading on, and that the price will be affected by supply and demand, not payment for order flow. So Alina says, yeah, that's true, Alina. It's true. So yeah, I should. So I guess that is true. That is true. It's mostly boomers up there, right? It is mostly boomers. It is mostly boomers. So they are involved with this. Yeah. I guess when I'm thinking boomers, I'm kind of thinking my parents' age. So I'm thinking like 70 up. So anything below, I don't want to put an age on anybody, so I'm not gonna go into that. But you guys know what I mean. It's amazing how most don't use the old saying, trust but verify. Right, Linda? Boston Strong says, do I think Lou the YouTuber is a double agent? So I've said this many times, and nothing against you, Boston Strong. I'm just, I know people hate hearing it, so I hate talking about it, but I think Lou thought this squeeze was going to be over a long time ago, like most of us did. And I think he kind of backed himself into a corner because he just ran out of catalysts to talk about. I mean, look at all the catalysts he's called out in the last 3 months. The price has not changed. I went back to look. I did a search history on his videos. The end, I just put in the words, the end AMC or next week. He's got videos going all the way back 8 months ago saying the end is near. Now, I'm sure you can find that on a lot of channels. But as far as his word being gospel, I think he just ran out of things to talk about. And the money is so good releasing all these videos. I mean, the money is fantastic. How can you turn down that kind of money? What wouldn't you say to be making $1,000 a day walking around New York or lying in your bed with an iPhone? Jesus. Can you imagine? Bill says Lou is hilarious. He is a funny man. No doubt about it. Have I heard anything about the FBI report on Lou? So all I know is that it was reported. Skid mark in the South. I don't know what, if any, action they've taken. I don't know if that's why he stopped talking about it. I have no idea. Mod Couple says over 250K last year. Mod Couple, weren't you just yelling at me about talking about other YouTubers? Hey, Dave. I just saw you in the chat. Good evening. Okay. Mike, I don't know if I said hi to you already. Linda, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi, Carl. Charts and fundamentals versus $100 million algorithms, $100 million algorithms developed by hedge funds and investment banks is like using a BB gun against a Black Hawk. Yeah, or an Apache, right? Or a Little Bird. And look, I appreciate Lou's hustle. The dude is a hustler. I mean, he found a niche of young investors who don't know what they're doing, who he needs to explain everything to. And the fact that, I mean, it's one video following the next, and it's just him trying to explain what he said in the last video. Now he has retard videos and real investor videos. I mean, the business model is genius. He's a fucking genius that way. But I just wouldn't have the balls to come on here and put on, imagine if I came on and put on 10 3-minute videos a day. No, Mark. No. If the commercial is playing in the beginning, it's monetized. If you get a commercial in the beginning, it's monetized. Jennifer, no, the FBI, no. So Lou came out a while ago and said that some bank had offered him like 5 times the money he would make in the squeeze from some bank to hand over retail's head on a platter, basically. He was offered to sell us out to a bank, and he turned it down. And when I heard him say that in a video, that concerned me. If there's a bank out there, especially if it's maybe one of the banks I'm doing banking with, if they are out there pursuing YouTubers to hand over retail on a spit, I got a problem with that. And I'd like to know what bank that is. And probably so should the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI, or you're telling a bullshit story, which is fine, but just say it's a bullshit story. Why would you scare people by saying that? That's not funny. How the fuck is that funny? Amc says, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, man, he had to change. He just ran out of shit to talk about. That's all it is. So we had to go from Elon apocalypse to, it's a new narrative every week. And the people that have been following him don't know any better. So they're just going to continue to listen, thinking he knows what the F he's talking about. They just don't know any better. And Jonathan, here's the thing. He doesn't even paste the Reddit DD or clips, except on like Instagram. I guess Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, I guess. Now he's doing videos in Spanish. Like, dude, he's a hustler. He's got the business model of YouTube down pat. He don't need super chats or merch or any of that shit. He's got plenty of money coming in from Google. Right. Robot Godzilla. It's every day it's something new. Every week it's something new. But he's got the hustle down, man. You got to give him credit. He is taking advantage of the situation and cashing the fuck in right now. Look, there's nobody that can be running around for the last 3 months since he said to stop buying because the brokers were parking our shares and keeping the money. And that was the last time we were at $42. And ever since then, this whole slide, he has been cracking jokes. The only time he gets mad is when people pressure him to talk about AMC more. And if you're a Wall Street insider and you're here to quote unquote help the family or help the kids not get fucked over, what do you mean the play's over? We're at $18. What do you mean the play's over? Do you want to stop talking about AMC? I need the freshest information from the insiders. What is happening today? So unfortunately, my friend, you are stuck right now talking about AMC. Either you come clean that you don't know shit, or keep talking about it and stop bitching about it. Stop bitching about AMC and talking about AMC. Hey, Natalie, good evening. Abzilla says, just got to stand in your front yard and just grab an iPhone, right? And just cut up 5 3-minute videos a day. I mean, imagine Abzilla if that's what your job was. And you could make anywhere from $500 to $1,200 a day in ad revenue. Would you stop even if you weren't telling the truth? Even if you didn't know anything? Even if you were afraid that some of these people might get screwed because what you're saying is not true or can't be verified or however you want to describe it? Natalie says breach mouth. Yeah, Natalie. I don't know which point you're agreeing with, but appreciate it. Linda says, I know. Yeah, who was the first one to say we're not apes anymore? Like that was a wedge that you drove in for absolutely no reason. Nobody's not respecting us because we're known as apes. Like, where would you come up with that narrative from? Why would you say that? No, whether we're called retail investors or AMC is a meme stock or it's a regular stock, however you want to identify things, no one was making fun of us because we're apes. I didn't hear a lot of that going on, that all of a sudden we need to drop that term. And he said, oh, well, think about who started it. That was the reason. The first person I can remember talking about it was Trey. So I don't know. But I don't think the play is over. Dave is saying Minecraft. I know, right? But I don't think these stories are scripted. I think he's just winging it. And not like Joe Rogan winging it, like Brian Stelter said. Not that kind of winging it. So Jamie says Lou has been good and bad for the movement. So Jamie, I'll agree with you on that to an extent. Absolutely. He's been good as far as keeping his people in line and keeping them committed to the play. But I mean, when he ever walked into the AMC theater over the summer and said this is a dead business model, that was my first real inkling that there's no way this fucking guy owns a share of AMC. How crazy would you have to be to walk into an AMC? I mean, here we are. We're doing everything we can to get to the movies, to spend money, to buying, to try to just generate some revenue so we can pay down some debt on this stock. And he goes in and does that? Come on. Boston Strong's. Okay, sorry. What do I think of CSI? So Boston Strong, CSI was on the other night with me. He went on to explain this whole thing about the algorithm. I don't know. I don't want to say bad or good about it. I like CSI as a person. Don't get me wrong. I don't know about the predictions. I haven't been able to watch his information so much. He did try to explain to me Saturday night about the algos that he's working on and all these things, but it was a lot to take in at once. And I was trying to do the chat at the same time and drag everyone's comments over. So I wasn't able to follow closely. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's a good question. And let me just say, Mod Couple, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know it's nuts. It's nuts. And I hope this is about Lou, not CSI, because I think CSI owns AMC, and I try to stay away from going after anyone that actually owns AMC. That's really where I kind of try to draw the line, because I know how it would feel if someone was attacking me and I owned AMC and my channel or my content or my character or something like that. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that dude owns any AMC. So I don't really give a shit. If he wants to sue me, come see me, son. You know where I'm at. Jonathan, thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. What? CSI was way off today. He still thinks 48 for Friday. Yeah, Bill, that's what he was saying the other day, right? He was saying he thinks it's going to go to 50 by the end of the week. Jonathan, Boss Blunts. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, guys. If you Boss Blunts is a great channel. You guys know who my channels are. You guys know who I like. Batman March 4th, Bucks fan says. Yeah, I'm hearing good things about it. So that's good. Natalie, what happened? What's the noise with Trey? I missed this comment. What happened? Backyard Boogie says, every time he's wrong, he says it. Well, I guess the algorithm's broke. Is that what happens? How do you spell that noise he makes? Good question. You'd have to ask. Well, he's gone now. You would have to ask Prince about that. I don't know. Hey, Chris, thank you very much. I don't know, Chris, are you Greek? Yasuda. Let's see here. S. Jackson says, CSI is a cool dude. He makes sense. And we all know that the algorithm is in play for a while. Might be wrong in some stuff like dates. Yeah, right. And that's the thing, right? I mean, I have no problem with people saying, look, everyone, this is an open platform, right? We're all allowed to speak our minds. That's what the nice thing about this is, especially why I try to come on and do live streams. I want to give you guys a voice because if not, I'm just talking inside my own head and that's not helping anybody. So that's why I like doing this. All right, we got a spelling here. Carl J has it. That's it. I forget who asked, but there's the spelling. You are Chris. Okay, man. I thought so with that last name. You're not in Greece, Chris, are you? Sort of an open platform. Mardomin 1. Mardomin 1. Everyone can see through. No, apparently not, Mardomin. At least 50,000 people can't see through his BS. Clearly. I think his video last night got 50,000 views on it saying the end of AMC. Let's see here. CSI Bud Ice King. CSA broke. Don't promote calls. Yeah, he's been doing options, right? I just stay out of that. I don't like getting involved with that stuff, and I definitely don't want to be arguing with other guys. Dr. Zeno says, "Am I okay?" So I heard something about that. He's saying that the DOJ is going to come after Trey for a pump and dump. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. This is uncharted waters right here with everything that's going on with AMC, the Squeeze, YouTube, the creators, the information being given back and forth, the narratives that are being played out there. We've never seen anything like this before, right? First time it's ever had a major impact on social media. And so trying to figure out what will be the end result of what we are doing right this second, this live stream, let's say, is going to take a while to sort through it all, right? I saw someone asking about scalping. If I scalped. Or if I knew what scalping was. Tuco 44. Let's see. Tuco, did someone answer you yet on that? Yeah, Carl, absolutely, man. It has been an unbelievable ride. And man, I have had, I mean, no offense to anyone else out there who's watching that has a channel, but I think this channel has the smartest subscribers. Maybe in the internet. There's a good possibility. In my opinion. It's not, it's nothing about that really. It's really just about people who have common ideas, who are still open to a conversation, who aren't so closed-minded or forward-thinking that they have blinders on and they can't see anything else. Hey, Mass, what do I think Congress voting on whether they allowed to insider trade? Yeah, man. That's another thing I was talking about earlier today. That's got to come to a stop. I talked to Lily about that. I said, you know what? This is not fair to retail. It is not fair that these people have an inside track to information and are allowed to trade on the open market with that information. That's got to come to a stop. If you want to invest in a fund and stick it away for a while, that's a different story. But as far as options and buying stock and selling stock based off news that you know ahead of time of the American people, possibly months ahead of time, that's got to come to an end. Got to come to an end. Jamie says it's ridiculous. Absolutely, Jamie. Another reason why, another thing I talked to Lily about, I'm like, that's got to stop. Who says that she's not affecting policy based off her stock options, which is now affecting my portfolio and your portfolio? Jonathan says, Jim Cramer's probably so many stock scandals. I don't see how. I don't either. I don't either. I mean, even the fact that the day before the collapse, he was saying, do not sell Bear Stearns. But there was a documentary that came out a while back called The Wall Street Conspiracy Movie. I did a video on it a long time ago when I first started my channel back in April or May. It got taken down off of YouTube. I think it's back up again now. But Jim Cramer sat down for an interview, and it was pulled up in this video. And when he was running his hedge fund, he talked about naked shorting and said it was done all the time. But as soon as we started talking about it back in January, nothing from Jim Cramer, right? Hey, Chris, thank you. Kalinikta. The Kansas 5, right? VOA apprentice? Yes, yes, yes. The Kansas City 5. What were they doing? I still don't know. I want to know. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. Exactly. Yeah, guys, if you remember to hit the like button, I don't feel like you have to, but if you remember to do it, I think that helps with the algorithm on live streams to like get out more. So if you remember to do it when you come in, that would be awesome. Javi, what's up, buddy? I saw you earlier. I had some technical difficulties. I saw you left. So I'm glad you're back, brother. Mod Couple says she had stock in Roblox, right? Right. Which is a stay-at-home stock. Did you guys see the video clip of the comedian who was on stage ranting about how many booster and vaccine shots she had? And then she passed out on stage. Did anybody see that? Hey, D. Did anybody see? I believe her name was Heather McDonald. Oh, Javi, you did. You did. Okay, man. I didn't know about that. I hope you're okay. I'll definitely keep you on my thoughts for that for tomorrow, my friend. Okay, so some people saw that. Okay. All right, good, good, good. All right, so I wasn't the only one to see that. Have you guys seen it? Did you guys, anyone else seen it? I think I have the video queued up for a second. I do. And then did people see when she came on and talked to Dr. Drew and what Dr. Drew told her? Holy shit. Hang on. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. What's her name? Okay, here we go. Okay, let me just shut off my mic. Okay, hang on, guys. Bear with me for a second so I can play this clip for you. I'm going to shut my mic off.
No, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
Booster, and I did get the booster, which I had double Pfizer and Moderna booster. 3 weeks to the day of the fall. Is there anything that you've seen about time wise? Because you know, when I asked the doctors about that, they said, "Oh, normally." Okay, go ahead.
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks is where you see a lot of
Really?
this stuff. I have a friend that got the booster, and he got really destroyed by it. He still can't walk across the room. He's having all kinds of symptoms. There's a lot of funny stuff. We don't really know what it all is and where it's coming from, but it's still worth doing it. I'm not at the point where I'm saying that it's still worth the risk, but it's got a lot of funny side effects, and syncope, it's called, fainting is one of them, and I think it's from the POTS syndrome, POTTS. And so, I was worried. What I wanted to check was to make sure you didn't have any evidence of myocarditis.
So I'm going to pause it there, guys. I think I have the article pulled up about the myocarditis. No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, same thing with Bob Saget, right? Yes. Same thing with Bob Saget. Absolutely. This is what got pulled up. And I'm just going to read it to you guys here, what the 2 comments were that I pulled up. So Saget also had an enlarged heart, and there were signs of the coronavirus on the PCR test, but the autopsy didn't suggest that either contributed to his death, his family statement said. And then there was another quote here somewhere. Oh, right here. Here it is. The chief medical examiner of Orange and Osceola counties in Florida said that his death was accidental, most likely from an unwitnessed fall backwards during which he struck the back of his head. The autopsy also showed that the 65-year-old suffered a significant blow to the head, which fractured his skull in the back, right side in front of his skull, including around the roof of his eye socket. The blow caused bleeding across both sides of the brain. So pretty wild, right? Pretty wild. But I didn't know if you guys had seen that or not, but I think that's scary. I don't know, nothing. I hope everyone in here is okay from, either they're vaxxed or not. I don't know, but yeah, that Saget thing was definitely sus, right? And the fact that, why is this the first time we are hearing about this? Why isn't this all over mainstream media? Let's see here. Okay, Alina is saying that her sister... Oh, I'm definitely getting demonetized. My sister got a booster and got myocarditis. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So I thought it was very prevalent in males, but I didn't even know that females are susceptible to it too. So I'm sorry to hear that, Alina. But this is the kind of shit that, we just got duped on. We got duped. Someone said, name a funny woman comedian right now. You know who my favorite woman comedian is? Lily Wong, I think her name is. Lily Wong. Maybe not Lily. Ali Wong. Ali Wong is hilarious, I think. Knowlton. Yeah. Yeah, no one's talking about it. All I hear people talking about is everything but that. No one's bringing up myocarditis. No one's talking about monoclonal antibodies. Nobody's talking about ivermectin. Nobody's talking about Regeneron. Nobody's talking about any of these preemptive measures you can take to protect yourself. The FDA has gone as far as to outlaw monoclonal antibodies. And for some weird reason, we were able to get a emergency vaccine in 90 days, push it through the FDA. The study they're doing right now on ivermectin, of course, I'm not a doctor, so this is not medical advice or financial advice, but they said that the ivermectin is going to take 2 years to get the study. It won't be out until the winter of 2022. So basically at the end of this year, when we'll probably be all done with the pandemic. Jonathan, thank you very much. Yes, I did see Project Veritas videos. I did. Yes. Yes, I did. Thank you. I saw James O'Keefe got raided by the FBI because they thought he had some sensitive documents about Biden. Linda, okay. Yeah, I heard a lot about that. I've heard zinc. You know, there's a ton of things right now that, and all they're pushing is vaccine. That's all they're pushing. They don't want to hear it. That's all it is. You know, they don't want to change the narrative at all. It's all about, and guys, like I said before, you know, Sunday mornings with Chuck Todd, brought to you by Pfizer. This evening with George Stephanopoulos, brought to you by Pfizer. You know, the Super Bowl, brought to you by Pfizer. So what narrative do you think they're going to push? CSI, thank you, buddies. Hey, so I'm just going to let you know, Common Sense. I'm just not putting those up because I don't want people to feel, but thank you, buddy. Thank you. Dave saying I took mad vitamins. I took mad vitamins when I had COVID. Yeah. Did the same thing. I got a bottle of them right over my shoulder here behind my motorcycle helmet. There is well, it's not a motorcycle. It's actually an e-scooter. But there's a bottle of vitamins right there. That was the only thing I took. Hunter Biden's laptop. That's a whole different thing. James O'Keefe had Hunter Biden's daughter's diary that apparently she left in an old apartment that she lived in, but Veritas wasn't able to corroborate that it was actually belonged to Joe Biden's daughter. And so they handed it over to the local police or the FBI. I can't remember which one. But the FBI still, a year later, raided James O'Keefe and Project Veritas and was able to grab his phone and get all his contact information for all of his sources. We are headed down a scary road when shit like that can happen. Carl is saying, Big Pharma makes billions. Yeah, Pfizer made $33.5 billion in profit last year. The entire world music industry, including podcasts, anything you could get on iTunes or Spotify, that entire industry only made $12 billion. So Pfizer tripled up the entire music industry of the planet. What does that tell you? Jennifer, yes, bioweapon. So I talked about this in one of my videos before, that DARPA, which is the dark wing of the NSA, went to Fauci and said to Fauci and Francis Collins, I believe, and said, what you guys are doing is too risky. We don't approve. And Fauci and Collins went ahead with it anyways. So the dark wing of our intelligence was telling Fauci, this is Pandora's box you could be opening. DARPA said to Fauci, you could take a garden variety virus and turn it into a pathogen pandemic. Those were the words that were taken from the emails. Yes, Bucks fan. Absolutely, brother. Yep. Andrew, yeah. Yep. It's just numbers on a ledger, right? All this money printing, it's not actual physical money. I know we make the joke and the meme about the money printer, right? But in reality, they're just digits on a ledger. Dave says the authoritarian departments only investigate others to gain leverage for themselves. The alphabet boys are compromised. Courts are packed. Yep. And I don't know how many of you guys saw when I talked about the appointee that Biden put for the Southern District of New York Appellate Court, where all of the SEC cases would be heard. And Biden's nominee checked a bunch of boxes, but zero experience and zero knowledge. the senator from Louisiana asked the woman who was being nominated by Biden, "Can you explain to me what a 10-5 the 10-5 form is? It's 10B, 10-5B for insider trading?" And she didn't know what it was. She didn't know that that had to do with insider trading. These are the people they are appointing and putting in charge of disciplining people who are breaking the laws. How much faith can you have in that when someone's just getting boxes checked and not actually based off merit? And I hate to talk about that, but it's a fact. I don't want someone overseeing the SEC that can't talk about or tell me that insider trading is bad, just like I don't want someone flying my airplane because they check boxes. Fear No Evil says, "I cannot in good faith invest in cannibalism injections." Yeah, I've heard a lot about that, that there's some type of, I don't want to get too deep into that, but I know what you're saying. Fear No Evil. The Chinese met them at the hazmat suits at the airport. Scary Whimsy Chick. Who's that? The Olympians? Bill says, spitting mad facts. I've been doing a lot of research into this, man. I try to keep my nose buried into the facts only, especially when it comes to AMC, because the information, can really steer a person one way or the other. I mean, it could cause them to fold up and go home and sell their shares. If I say something the wrong way or bring some misinformation, which is another reason why I just don't go out and make these long or 10 3-minute AMC videos. That's not going to help anybody. I can't help anybody that way. And I can't report facts every day, having to come up with a new narrative of either why AMC hasn't squeezed or why AMC went up 50 cents or down $2. You can come up with all the answers that you want to describe that, but I can't sit here and tell you for a fact which way. They pick people based on race and gender. Yeah, just merit, right? I don't know. I was brought up that we didn't get participation trophies to everyone. I think we started to go somewhere wrong when that happened, because it used to be based on if you were the most valuable player, you got the MVP award and you strived to be better to get that award. If they're going to hand out an MVP award to everyone, why try? Need to get our society back on merit-based system. Yeah, look where it's gotten us in the last year. It's gotten inflation the worst it's been in 40 years. We had a terrible showing leaving Afghanistan that made us look weak. And we got 13 service members killed in the meantime that didn't need to die. The supply chain is a mess. I saw Mayor Pete had a nice post the other day on Valentine's Day. And I wrote on his Twitter, I was like, man, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. Now, why don't you get back to work and fix the infrastructure? I don't have time to be taking photos on Valentine's Day. Follow the Massalorian and die. So Bob is not agreeing. Okay, at the airport with hazmat suits. Yeah, the insanity. Insanity. I was saying the other night, even just going into my local bakery, I have to take money out of my pocket, hand it to the woman behind the counter who's behind a glass partition, mind you. And then she's going to hand me back the change from my $5 bill, whether it's 2 ones and 50 cents, whatever it is. And they want us to mask up when we walk into the bakery so that we can physically exchange funds but make sure you got a mask on. Jordan says, I need to go on Houston Wade's channel. And yeah, everyone was saying, or CSI was saying the other night that a lot of Houston Wade and me wouldn't agree on politics. I'd love to have a conversation with him. You know, I like to hear the other side of the story. I was saying to someone earlier today, I don't know where you even put me on the political spectrum, because I watch people as far left as Jimmy Dore, and I watch people as far right, or at least that's the labels they get, right, from Greater Society. I watch Tucker because Tucker will actually bring people on, and I know he gets a horrible rap for a lot of things that he says, and he says a lot of dumb shit, but at least he's not trying to bury the lead. He's not trying to bury the story about the truckers. He's not trying to bury the story about the market. He was one of the only guys who came out when GameStop went down. He brought on Glenn Greenwald from The Intercept, and they talked about how the hedge funds were getting pissed because the little guy was winning, and Tucker brought Greenwald on to talk about that. And nobody did on CNN or MSNBC. It was pushed on the rug, was barely talked about. Barely got a mention from Chris Como. He gave Vlad a cream puff interview. Okay, here we go. Now we got someone who actually can weigh in on this. Bronson says, you live in South Bend. Did they really call him Pothole Pete because there were so many potholes in South Bend? And Biden put this guy as the fucking transportation secretary? A guy that had the nickname Pothole Pete when he was the governor? I mean, the mayor? Lou is having a live stream tonight. If anyone has questions, participate where he can answer. Jonathan says, political spectrum means nothing nowadays. Jonathan, thank you, man. Tampa Bay Buckeye says, the Massalorian, speaking of COVID, may have had another short play on DNA, INFO. BF been pushing this mofo down since 2020, but recently heavy buying in BB and MM merger or acquisition on horizon. Interesting. Maybe now's the time to start shorting Pfizer if we're going to open back up again, right? Vengeance is mine says, I am vengeance. Once you wake up, you start to realize how interconnected it really is. And vengeance is mine. That was why I started to branch out with my material. There was only so much AMC information out there. You can't have 150, 200, 300 channels all talking about the same thing. You're going to get confused. All kinds of bad things can go wrong when that type of shit happens. You get all kinds of input coming in. So I decided to take a broader approach, to take a step back, look at the wider market. How are things that are on, like I said earlier, on the peripheral, I hate that word when I'm going to say it. How are things on the extreme edges, and how are they affecting price action or just the broader market every day? And that's kind of why my channel has, I guess, evolved into what it is right now. There was a lot of DD that was being dug up back then that we could point to, and a lot of things we could talk about, but that's kind of been done now. And the people who are really good at doing that do a great job on it still. And same for technical analysis, or if you're going to live stream all day with Tony, I'm sure you guys are learning a ton over there. If you're on Tony's live streams, I'm sure. Or if you're learning about the algorithms on CSI's channel, like all these different guys are out there to help you along with this. I'm just trying to look at it from a different perspective and to help this along the best way that I can and protect my investment. Okay, NSC 2021-21, common sense. Has it been added to the register yet? I don't believe so. Are we missing? Is that supposed to be a /010? Hold on. Looks like someone. Common Sense. Love you too, man. And I appreciate you coming on last Saturday. I did send you an email. I don't know if people know. I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, I sent you an email. If you didn't get it, let me know. All right. And Javi is saying, I'm going to come back to you, VOA Apprentice. Javi is saying, CSI, you have to go live tomorrow, please. I think everyone's anticipating like some big move tomorrow, CSI. That will be the catalyst, he's saying. Okay. What happened to the... Carl is asking if, yeah, Guten Tag, right? No, that's good day. Damn it. You caught me. Carl, you caught me. Shouldn't you be in bed right now? That will be the catalyst. All right. So are you going to live stream tomorrow, CSI? I guess people are asking. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll check my email when we get off. Yeah, Carl, go to bed. No, can you tell me, Carl, how to say it, please? Because I know when I get off this live stream, I'm going to be probably dealing with a million things, trying to figure out how to cut this video up, how to upload it. All right, who's your proud? Oh, man, who's your proud? So you know all about this. Our roads in Indiana are always under construction. How did this guy get nominated to be the Secretary of Transportation then? That makes absolutely no sense. This is the shit I'm talking about. Jonathan, thoughts on Ukraine-Russia situation? All right, so guys, I'm going to get into this real quick just because Jonathan brought it up. And Jonathan, thank you. Okay, let me tell you guys what's going on with Russia right now. So I want you to see this picture. Can you guys see the picture on the screen? Let me shut off this. Hold on. Okay. Now, if you guys look on the soldier here, you see these little kids with the AK-47s, right? Do you see the soldier here and the patch on his arm right below his shoulder, right where his tricep would be, or it's probably actually right on the flat part of his arm between his tricep and his bicep? That little patch there, that patch is not the Ukrainian military. It is actually a neo-Nazi. So in 2014, I'm going to read this. Azov, which is the name of this special operations unit. This is the logo of the Azov battalion who are in Ukraine from 2014 to present. Azov was incorporated into the National Guard of Ukraine, not standard military. And since all the members are contract soldiers serving in the National Guard of Ukraine, in 2014, the regiment gained notoriety as allegations emerged of torture and war crimes, as well as neo-Nazi sympathies and usage of associated symbols by the regiment itself, as seen by their logo featuring the wolf's angle or one of the original symbols used by the SS Panzer, Das Reich. So, MSNBC, the morons that they are so stupid. They put up this news story last night with these guys training the little kids and grandmothers. This isn't Ukrainian regular army. These guys are separatists who were involved with taking out the president back in 2014 and destabilizing the Ukrainian government to where it is corrupt today. But MSNBC, and the guy covering the story is the chief foreign correspondent on news, is such a moron. They didn't edit any of this out. They left in this guy with the patch, and that's the people they're interviewing. It's not Ukraine regular army. This isn't the, they got these right-wing nutbags on there that are training little kids in anticipation of something that probably is not even going to happen, since it's been verified that these exercises that the Russian government was running in Belarus and at the Russian border are something that happens all the time. and they are pulling back the troops back to their bases from operations. So that's what I think about that. I think the mainstream media is stoking the fire along with the president and the rest of the administration, because COVID's coming to an end and they're going to need a new way to stoke fear, to implement rules, to get the military industrial complex up and pumping again, making money, get the blood flowing. Dave says it's fear mongering. Yeah, absolutely. Matt Taibbi did an article on this. Oh, the person who was, let me make sure I give credit where credit is due. If you guys have never checked out Aaron Mate, he's on Substack, and I believe he's in the gray zone. Possibly, I'm not sure, but Aaron Mate did a lot of the research on this, and he's covered a lot of subjects in the past that he's debunked. He's an excellent reporter. He's won a couple awards. He's a guy that I totally rely on for some of my information. I try to go fact check it after and make sure, like I did with what I just told you guys. Yeah, because we're out of Afghanistan now, right? So they're going to need a new source of income. Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, GE, Ford, Chevy. They need something. They can't just stop the presses. They need to keep making bombs and vehicles and uniforms and maternity uniforms. Veronica says they used hype fear to control. Yes, Veronica, absolutely. Absolutely. War is moving forward. Mod couple. The president of Ukraine basically told the U.S. to just shut up and stop saying, yeah, Donkey Kong, right? The president said, hey, man, why don't you pipe down, Joe Biden? You're getting everybody riled up. For what? These are normal exercises that happen all the time. Canadian police planted. I saw that as well. Liz Clayman's whistle. I saw the gentleman come out on, I believe the name of the channel was like Miss Sunshine Daisy or something like that. But one of the gentlemen from the Truckers Association came out and said there have been reports that there were 2,000 weapons stolen. And I'd be lying if I told you where the weapons came from. I wasn't prepared for this kind of conversation tonight. I was just wanted to focus in on the Ukraine, but that 2,000 weapons were stolen from somewhere, and they wanted to say before there's some type of false flag that they had nothing to do with stealing those weapons. And if someone finds weapons, call the police immediately. But basically that narrative, they nipped that in the bud, thank God. And Carl is saying, we are either insane and don't know it or know it and don't care. CSI is saying they need a war. Yeah, man, the military industrial complex needs to keep the printing presses going. They have investors to make money for, right? That's the ultimate goal in a lot of these companies that are producing this stuff. They got investors to answer for, and they need to keep the war going, the war effort. Now we're out of Afghanistan, so there's got to be a new front somewhere, right? And just imagine if Russia tomorrow, what happened when Russia tried to put missiles on Cuba? What happened? We almost went to full-scale nuclear war, right? Kennedy almost drove us, and Khrushchev almost drove us to full-scale war. Who's Your Proud says, should I still have pride in my country? You know what? There's a lot of us out there that you can have faith in. Who's Your Proud? Maybe not so much the higher echelons of government and those type people, but the people, the common people, us, there's still a lot of good people out there. I haven't lost faith in them yet. Eric, what are my thoughts on the AMC Squeeze? Let me get Eric. I just saw you in the comments. My thoughts on the AMC Squeeze? I believe in it. If this your first time here, I don't recognize your name, Eric. I have a heavy investment in AMC. I've been in this place since late February, and I believe that manipulation is completely out of control. I don't believe in. I don't know about this managed event or anything like that, but I believe that the DD that's been done is correct, and there are a ton of shares out there that are unaccounted for. And whenever they decide to start closing out these short positions, we will see AMC take off. And when it does, I hope to cash in. I don't give days, times, or numbers on the Moass. I just have faith in it, and that's why I started this channel, and I'm banking on this Moass happening because I don't make shit on YouTube. Jordan saying America doesn't exist anymore. America's still here. I don't know if I don't believe we're a constitutional republic anymore. You know, I told that story last time. I don't know if you guys remember, but I told the story, and this could be an old wives' tale, but supposedly when Ben Franklin walked out of Independence Hall after writing up signing the Constitution, the woman said, "So, doctor, what have you given us, a monarchy or a republic?" And he said, "Ma'am, we've given you a republic if you can hold on to it." And he wasn't joking, because we're seeing it slip through our fingers right now and right out from under our noses. Karen says we haven't for 100 years. Well, Karen, I was looking back at some of the numbers from the middle of the last century. So right after World War II, up until the oil crisis in the early 70s, and the difference between the top paid CEOs and the average working man. And I got these statistics. I'd have to pull up the chart to show you right now, but that has just, as we've gone further through time from after World War II, we have seen the wages of the common man stay flat and CEOs have gone up. But at one point, before the oil crisis back in the early 70s, it was pretty comparable. A guy pumping gas could afford the mortgage on a house. Now, a carpenter can't do that. Javi saying hashtag free America. Yes, sir. Bob ETV says, how long do I think the bear market will last? I think these rate hikes have been factored into the market right now. I don't know how much more they can chop down anything in the market, especially tech and growth. I guess I would throw the meme stocks in there too right now. Of course, they still have the capability of doing that, but I think the rate hikes have been factored into prices we are seeing today. If that's the case, then maybe we will be able to have small spurts of growth in between, downtimes. It may not be a complete bear market, but again, that's just my opinion. And, guys, this obviously is not financial advice. I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but I do feel like some of this has been priced in already. And as long as the rate hikes are when they are scheduled for, like we didn't see anything crazy on Monday, as long as they stick with that schedule and it's just a number that they have now and they don't try to push it to 100 points before July 1st, I think we'll be okay. But I think you'll see a lot of other things coming down hard, like commercial-backed securities, especially on commercial real estate, because so many brick and mortar stores have gone out of business. If you guys have ever watched Louis Rossman, he has a channel and he talks about New York, downtown New York, and all the businesses that have fled. It's pretty crazy. And people are borrowing money off these properties right now. And possibly there's been whistleblowers who have said people are falsifying documents to make it look like they're getting rent revenue still coming in at these brick and mortar locations, and they're not, but they're borrowing money like they are. Okay, I got to bring this up. From my research, America is being taken over by allowing the Magna Carta. Yeah, basically, Justin Trudeau just suspended the Magna Carta. So we're back to a pre-1300 society right now in Canada. That's where we're at right now as far as progressiveness. S. Jackson says, "Holy shit." Yeah, man, I try to take a viewpoint from everything. Commercial back mortgages. I try to take everything into perspective because we have like these three bubbles that are happening right now, right? We have the housing bubble, we have the market, and then you throw in, what the Fed's doing. Keeping track of all these different things are having an effect on the market every day. And if we're gonna see any type of like major crash, it's gonna be those three bubbles popping at once. And hopefully we don't see that though. But yeah, I watched Louis Rossmann. He's great. I like to keep up to see where rents are and what type of stores are moving back in. It kind of gives me a good idea of how well those cities are going to rebound, and are these mortgage-backed securities, are they going to come back to bite us? Banking bubble. Thank you, my couple. Before the Magna Carta, Finuiga says there was the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not steal. You should let Ken Griffin in on that. He basically stole that Constitution with our money. Hold on, Lena. I'll come right back to you. I want to put this up. As long as we still believe in her, we still have America. Hadley, 100%. 100%. 100%. Trudeau violated Canadians' rights and freedoms. We are no longer citizens. Hopefully, Brian Peckford wins his case against the federal government. Yeah, he basically suspended the Magna Carta, just like Obama suspended habeas corpus. It's sad, but that's what's going on right now. That's the world we're living in. And, we're going to have to, this is not going to be, if you think the hedge funds put up a fight, I think wait till you see some of the fighters that will come out of this movement. I think there will be leaders that will come out of this ape retail investor movement who will push forward ideas, forward thinking on how to get back to becoming how to get back to being a constitutional republic, where it's not mob rule and it's not majority rule. Everything's in checks and balances again, like it should be. MJK Plastering says Louis Rossmann is great. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Any word on Kenny? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. By the way, someone's asking about Peckford. He wrote like some of the charters for the Canadian, not Constitution, but I guess like their Bill of Rights, right? He's fighting for the truckers. Alina has right here. Brian Peckford was one of the writers of the Canadian Charter of Rights. Yeah, okay, he's speaking of the truckers, exactly. Yeah, S. Jackson says Rossman's been fighting. Yeah, the right to repair. Right, that's how I found him in the first place. Yeah, he's awesome. Right. See, that's what I'm talking about. We all have our fight. Look at his platform. His channel is blown up. He has like 500,000 subscribers. Right. So his message is getting out there. People are listening. They're hearing him. VT says, I'm leaving Toronto after Moass. Inflation out of control. Condo sold for $950. Yeah, I have a friend in Vancouver. Same thing. I'm like, you know what? Sell that shit and bounce. You don't want to live there anymore. That's crazy. I was a Democrat most of my life until I realized when Dems are in control, my pockets are thinner. Yeah, they don't believe that inflation, they believe that hurts the upper 1%. If you listen to CNN and MSNBC, Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper and all of them, they're telling you inflation is good for the middle class. It hurts the upper echelon of society. Tell that to my ATM card, my debit card, when I go to the grocery store every day, or try to buy gas, or even to try to get a delivery from Amazon Prime within 3 days now. That's a thing of the past. Harry Parrott says, will the stock market ever go back to just a buyer, a seller? That's what I'm pushing for the most, Harry Parrott. I've been saying we need to get this back to supply and demand, open transparency. You need to be able to see numbers coming in, numbers going out. It's got to be based off that. That was why the stock market and how it was created. It was based off that principle. And unless we get back to that, we're never going to see true price action. We're never going to see a lot of things. So I'm banking on that. Bucks fan saying, I'm not sure I have faith in U.S. coming back, so I'll be moving to a red state. Bucks fan, amen, brother. I don't know where I'm going to go after we Moass. I'm definitely not going to, I don't think I'm going to stay here. I don't know. I was thinking about getting out of the country myself. I don't know exactly where I would go yet, but I've definitely contemplated it. I've thought a lot about it. I just thought we would already have gotten paid by now and I would have been gonzo. But unfortunately, I'm still here. Jonathan says progressivism is just regression and subjugation. Absolutely, brother. And thank you. CSI. And just know, Jonathan, it's not that I'm not putting your comments up. I just don't want, I know you know what I'm saying. Could Kenny be one of the whistleblowers there all talking about CSI says? Why? Because he's on the run right now? Yeah, I mean, look, when something goes down between the feds and a criminal enterprise or a drug cartel, usually the first one who snitches gets the least time, right? So would that shock me? No. And guys, I'm going to need 1 second to use the bathroom really quick. So give me 2 seconds. Okay. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Oh, I have some destinations here. Let me go back. So VT said Asia, Vietnam. Yeah, Philippines, Thailand, I was thinking. Philippines, Thailand. It's very cheap. I've seen villas in Thailand that you can rent with a maid, with maid service, and a pool and the whole nine. And you can get that for under $500 a month US. Mod Couple says PR. Carl J. Bora Bora, that's probably too expensive. Well, maybe after we Moass. Linda's saying, please, Kenny is not going to jail at all. Jordan, where's your comment? Yeah, man, I don't want to get in a situation like, shit, what was that movie with Zach Galifianakis and Bradley Cooper? The Hangover Part 2. Melina says, how do you get citizenship in Thailand? So the rules are changing so much now because of the pandemic. I've seen even Mexico, you need to have, it used to be like you only needed about 30 grand to become a Mexican citizen in the bank when you move there. They've like 4 times that since the pandemic came along. From what I understand, as far as moving to Thailand, you need to have a certain amount. And I think it was, I want to say it was $100,000 of cold hard cash in your account to be able to prove that, and they will give you almost automatic citizenship. If not, every 30 days you have to reapply for a visa, and then every 6 months you have to leave Thailand for a 24-hour period. It can be anywhere, you can go anywhere you want, but you have to leave 24 hours, then you come back in and they re-up your visa for 6 months. As far as staying there, Liz says Thailand is dangerous. There's some shady stuff that goes on in Thailand, but if you have a little bit of street smarts, I think you can make it there. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube who are making it over there who have no clue what they're doing, and they seem to be making it. Like even creators, YouTube creators, who are just winging it and they're doing fine. Smith says Spain is the easiest. Yeah, I've heard the Scandinavian countries are very difficult. I've heard Scandinavia is very difficult to get into. You need a lot of money. Veronica says SEC versus Ripple Close has to close. Pantheon, here we go. You can buy citizenship investment in the Caribbean for a real estate purchase of $50K on some islands up to $150, like Ape Island, Pantheon. After we Moass, Pantheon, me and you will go halves on Ape Island, and we'll let Richie buy a timeshare. Or we'll rent him a timeshare. And Carl's right. Everywhere can be dangerous. Just like you can get killed walking your doggy. So why am I going to be afraid of COVID? I could step outside and get hit by a bus tomorrow morning. Javi says he has family in Thailand and Laos. Okay, so Javi, what do you think? Do you think it's a bad move for an American, for an expat? Isn't Thailand going to get invaded by China if Russia invades Ukraine, or I am wrong? Who is China trying to push over? Taiwan, Dave, you're thinking of? Taiwan, I believe you're thinking of Taiwan. That's because Taiwan actually never like became an independent country. I guess they've always been, at least in the eyes of the CCP, part of that part of China still, part of the mainland, just like Hong Kong. Thailand is a dictatorship, right? Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there are a lot of countries with dictatorships. I think as long as you mind your own business, you'll be all right. Jamie says Puerto Rico. I've looked into that, Jamie. There's a girl that I watch. Her name is shoot, I can't think of it now. But I have looked into that. There's a guy, Max. He's a finance YouTuber. Talks about crypto a lot. I can't think of his last name. He's got long hair. He just moved to PR. Yeah, Linda, Taiwan. Yeah, that's right. The home of Ape Andy. That's where Ape Andy is from, right? And he just had to sell out his position, huh? They were like foreclosing on his house or something? That sucks. I know a lot of people liked him. Max Maher. Yeah, see, yeah, thanks, Badonky Kong. I thought, I was like, no, that's got to be Bill Maher I'm thinking of. No, his name is Max Maher. You're right. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you. PR is a hub for crypto, no tax. So isn't, I mean, there's a lot of, I think, Central American and South American countries that might start adopting crypto because their currency is so weak. Like, I believe El Salvador is right now, and a couple other countries. Pierre has a lot of outages. Javi says, don't move to Thailand. Why? Okay, Javi. We'll have to talk about that sometime. You'll have to tell me. Harry Parrott says, Guyana is a country that seems like a place. I'm assuming he wanted to finish that with something. Guyana's in northern South America, right? Okay, let me see here. S. Jackson says, Thailand has a dictatorship. Me in Canada. Yes, Bob ETV. Yeah, I can't think of her name, but yes. Yep. Okay, here we go. Pantheon's answering the question about Ape Andy. Ape Andy sold his non-registered shares, but keeps his registered shares in GME and AMC. Oh, that sucks. Damn it. Trafaz here says, my brother lived in Thailand. He is on Vashon Island now, but wanted to go to Albania next. Wow, really? Albania? That's crazy. Man. Actually, my family is from, on one side of my family is from the Albanian Greek border. That's where my dad's side of the family is from, up in the northern part of Greece called Ypres. It's the mountains, but it's right on the Albanian border. Lupe says, by the way, Jonathan said was saying Singapore he was weighing in. It's a good place after the Moass to continue trading. Okay. Yeah, Singapore is beautiful, right? We have some subscribers on this channel from Singapore. I get like 0.9% of my demo from Singapore. And I've met the guys in the comments. I've talked to them in the comments. Lupe, was that the final price? 43.2 million? What a piece of shit. Karina, Dubai, really? Pantheon says, this is the home of the sparrow for any old school Simpsons fans. Yes, it is. VT says, loves Singapore. Been there twice. Have you ever been, VT, to that pool? I can't think of the name of the triple building there. It's got like 3 columns, and there's a huge infinity pool on top of that building. I can't think of it. David Brown. David, is that you? Saying New Zealand is a great spot. James Cameron lives there. So doesn't Peter Jackson, doesn't he? By the way, is anyone excited for Amazon's Lord of the Rings? Dubai, I would melt. Cloud Ostrich says, yay, Singapore. S. Jackson says, we should make change in the world. Yeah, S. Jackson, I'm trying to get proactive with that now, man. I don't want to wait till after Moass. David, what's going on, buddy? First time talking on here. This is Dave Brown from Ireland, right? I'm not going to try that accent. You nuts. Mike says Singapore is very expensive. I need 2 times the Moass. I guess I'm going to have to wait for some bank to come offer me you guys head on a platter to get that kind of money. Ready for Vikings Valhalla. Just buy a ranch here and start a cult. Oh, Pantheon, the Marina Bay. Okay, I was thinking Marina Bay in Quincy, Mass. Okay, the hotel is Marina Bay Sands. 500 a night. Yeah, that view is fucking out of control. I've seen some pictures off the side of that thing. You've been there? That's amazing, man. Yeah, it's on my bucket list after we Moass for sure. Lupe says we can start making those decisions when we're all in Vegas. Follow the CIA spooks, Costa Rica. S. Jackson says Mardoman says Portugal. I would love definitely Portugal's on my bucket list for sure. I'm dying to go to see Nazarene, the 100-foot waves that guys are surfing out there when there's a break in the fall. I got into surfing when I lived out in California when I was in school, and watching those guys ride those 100-foot waves at Nazarene's unbelievable. It is crazy watching those guys get towed in on those waves. 100-foot waves crashing right on the rocks. It's nuts. Yeah, Portugal's on my bucket list for sure. I've been to a couple big wave spots, but never to Portugal. That's like the ultimate. Marina Bay Sands. Oh, it's a casino. to lose Moass money. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, Cloud Ostrich. I'm not looking to lose my Moass money. Half Moon Bay, been there. Been there, Carl J. Mavericks, absolutely. Been there. Mavericks, sure. Alina says that her niece lives in Portugal and it's beautiful and safe. Yeah, I've seen it. Looks amazing. It looks amazing. S. Jackson says he'd rather buy the Constitution. So Dave is saying deciding which language I want to learn would be hard. Like, yeah, I looked into the Thai language. It seems very difficult to learn, especially trying to learn a new alphabet. Especially since right now I'm trying, I have the English alphabet. I know some of the Greek and Italian alphabet. Actually, Italian, Greek alphabet, sorry. But yeah, the Thai alphabet looks tough to master. Liz Clayman's whistle said, learn to speak Arabic. I wonder how tough it is to learn Arabic compared to like Mandarin or something like that. Because I mean, Arabic, you have to learn the whole alphabet, right? In order to be able to phonetically pronounce words, right? In a language like Arabic or not so much Spanish, but Arabic or say Russian, Indonesian. Alina's taking everybody with her, apparently. I don't know where she's going. Hoosier Proud's going with her. Javi's going with her. CSA says, I'm listening to you while working the chart. All right, so CSI's got tomorrow's chart packed out. Are you doing a video tonight, CSI, or are you doing a video in the morning? Piahi Beach, Waimea. What about Chopu? Chopu is in, I think Bali, not Fiji. Tahiti, maybe. Tahiti, Chopu. Yeah, Alina's asking CSI to, she wants CSI to spill the beans. Liz Clayman's whistle says, I was dating a Saudi sheik for many years, had to learn Arabic. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so CSI's got an answer. Just don't want to do what you are on. All right, so it's 12 o'clock. Guys, I'm probably going to wrap this up anyways. We've been on for 3 hours solid. So, well, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm sorry I effed up the beginning of this. I got all discombobulated. I don't know why. Chopu Hot Dog Water says, yes, Chopu. Tahiti. That's a marvelous wave. Absolutely. Yeah, common sense investor. I'm gonna hop off. I'm ready for bed, honestly. So I'm gonna say goodnight to everyone. Carl, Alina, the new guy, Smith, the new guy. Thank you so much. But Donkey Kong, good night, brother. Thanks for coming by. S. Jackson, good night. Guten Nacht, schlaf gut. Carl Abrams. Peace, my man. To Harry Parrott. Aliko Mex, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Javi, good night. Good luck tomorrow, man. I'll pray for you tonight. Lupe, you're welcome. Melina, you're welcome. Mike, have a good night. Hoosier Proud, good night. Floyd, good night. CSI, I'll talk to you mañana. Shirley, good night. Mod Couple, I'm going to say the names and then you know it's good night. Dave Bala, Smith, David Brown. Hey, good night, buddy. I peed in the pool. Good night. You thought it was just a video? Sorry. We'll have a live stream Friday night. Don't worry. I'm planning on getting a bunch of people on. Andrew, good night. VT, good night. Jim, Cloud Ostrich, good night. Thank you guys for all stopping by, man. I appreciate you guys engaging in conversation, listening, getting in the chat, talking to each other, explaining things to each other. It's really nice to see. So I appreciate all of you guys who stopped by. And we'll talk more later in the week about, you know, what's going on with everything. I'm going to try to work on getting this woman possibly elected so we can get some legislation passed. I don't know what else to do right now. I'm at my wit's end. God bless all you guys too. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. I really appreciate all of you guys. And we will talk later this week. All right. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm going to bed. Night, guys.